The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hello, everyone. I'd like to welcome you to today's webinar, E-commerce Best Practices Unlock the Potential of Your Online Business. We appreciate you taking the time out of your schedule to join us. There's just a couple of housekeeping items we'd like to mention before we begin. All attendees are in listen-only mode. If you have any questions throughout the presentation, please submit them through the GoToWebinar question box. We'll be answering questions following the presentation. We are also recording today's session, and everyone will receive the recording in an email tomorrow. I'd like to introduce today's speaker. Rob Cook is a business development manager at k-eCommerce. Over the last decade, he's helped hundreds of Microsoft Dynamics customers both evaluate their web requirements and partner with k-eCommerce. So at this point, Rob, I believe we're ready to transition over to you.
Perfect. Thank you, Rebecca. All right, everyone. I'm going to go through here just a couple of quick housekeeping on my side. And to repeat what Rebecca had mentioned is to type the questions in at the end. For whatever reason we don't get to your questions, we will be following up with the Velosio rep with you. So my name is Rob Cook, as Rebecca had mentioned. I have been in the Microsoft Dynamics sales channel for coming up on close to 18 years now. The first 10 years of my tenure in the channel was actually as a Microsoft Dynamics GP user at a small to medium-sized business here in Michigan, where I'm located out of. I've focused on the e-commerce sales and really the e-commerce sales customers, as well as the Microsoft Dynamics GP sales associate, and was responsible for things like order entry and things like database maintenance and things like that. So really, e-commerce with Microsoft Dynamics was a really good fit for me, which is how I ended up transitioning into this space. And since then, I've really been focusing on helping Microsoft Dynamics clients go online. And I'll talk about really what I mean by go online as we go through here. But I want to focus on really the whole online presence and what you need to think about and decide on when you are researching how you would like to go to market online, because that is ever changing. So things that you have to consider that I'll be really focusing on is knowing your business and knowing your customers, having some type of an idea of what it is that you want to show or display the client. I'll talk about some industry best practices that will help with those decisions and making those decisions. I'll spend quite a good amount of time and provide detail regarding security, because security is very, very important, especially if you're going to be transacting with any type of credit card information, accepting credit card information, excuse me. I'll be talking about integrating it back to your Microsoft Dynamics database. And then I will end it with talking about my company and really what we focus on here at k-eCommerce. So what is this whole e-commerce thing, right? Well, why do people have websites? And at the end of the day, you want to make it easier for your customers to do business with you. Now, that can be many different things, right? It can be an online catalog, providing them information. It could be providing them a way to purchase from you. Let it be new customers, let it be existing customers, or let it even be customers that are calling you to place an order, right? You can have an online portal that allows your employees to do that on behalf of your clients. And really what this all boils down to is the increase in customers wanting and needing self-sufficiency, which comes into the next slide here. Is e-commerce is not stopping. In fact, it's increasing. As you can see here, by 2021, e-commerce sales are expected to increase by almost 250% and make up $4.5 trillion by that time. Now, when most people think of that, they think, okay, well, yeah, Amazon is growing. But realistically, where that huge growth is coming from is customers, meaning Microsoft Dynamics customers, creating a website for their dealers, their wholesalers, their distributors to come in and purchase from them. So changing the whole outside-inside sales rep model and allowing their customers to go online and purchase. That's where the biggest growth is in the industry, coupled with, obviously, the Amazons and eBays of the world, right? So I know that most companies represented here today have an e-commerce solution in place, but I think that going through the exercise that we're about to go through is going to be valuable, especially if you're evaluating the viability of a new solution, right? So what is the size of your company today? Not only where are you today, but where do you want to be in 1 year, 3 years, 5 years, 10, right? Do you know the makeup of your customer base? What is the profile of a typical customer, right? How much do they buy? What price do they need to buy it at? Things like that. And then also, what resources do you have to run your online channel? Will these internal resources be dedicated to e-commerce, or will they also be spread across different departments and projects? What will their responsibilities be once a website is up and running, right? And really, what if some of their time is then not eaten up by doing manual order entry or manual database maintenance? What could they potentially do or be doing that could help your business more? So really, what this all boils down to is understanding your current situation and then setting goals and objectives for you where you want to be. All right. So as we switch over to the next slide here and talk about objectives, what I really want to get across is that when I talk to different Dynamics customers in the industry, one of the biggest mistakes that I see them making is not setting objectives for a new endeavor. They know they need e-commerce, they know they should be online, but they don't know what their goals are. Oftentimes I ask customers, what do you want to do? And they said, well, we want to be online. And I say, okay, is that to increase sales? Is it to lower your operational costs? Is it expand to new markets or grab new customers in those markets? And the answer I always get is yes. So really what I'll walk through here is how we can potentially do that and some tips and tricks and things to really to focus on. All right. So let's talk about the benefits. So e-commerce, like most sales initiatives, there are inherent benefits if you execute properly. Now, most of the companies I've worked with in the Microsoft Dynamics channel, they once live and once integrated with their ERP, they really see the following benefits. They increase the order volume and really the value of the order because there's less physical touches. And then back office, since it's automatically integrated with their Microsoft Dynamics database, they're seeing operational cost savings. They're not having to pay someone to sit there and type in an order in GP. That order is then sent back office, released to the floor, and picked, packed, and shipped. And all of those things really equate to customer retention, customer growth, and really market expansion. And that could be in the market that you're already in, or if you do choose to pick a new market, right? So let's talk about the different business models that make up e-commerce, right? When it comes to what most people think when you, excuse me, when it comes to what most people think when you hear the word e-commerce, people think about retail, right? B2C. Okay, e-commerce, I got it. Now, that's part of it, definitely. And it's a very important part if that's your market and that's your customer base, right? So on a B2C environment, we need to focus on different, not so much different things, but certain things more importantly, right? In B2C, or business to consumer or retail, customers are looking for an emotionally driven purchase. you have a fixed price, you have fixed inventory, and you're doing heavy upsell, cross-sell to keep that customer purchasing and purchasing often. Whereas on the B2B side of things, we know who that customer is. So when they sign in, we can show them what they're allowed to buy. Maybe you can sell certain customers things that you cannot sell other customers, right? So we need to show them what they're allowed to buy, what pricing they can buy it at. We need to show them deep account history. Maybe they want to see an invoice from 3 years ago. Maybe they want to order off of an old order quickly or through a part number quantity order entry, right? These are your business-to-business consumers. They're coming in, they're purchasing from you what they purchase from you, and it's rationally driven, right? Now, in recent years, a lot of people are moving over to the third-party marketplaces. Really, eBay started it, and Amazon's taken over. So selling on Amazon could be selling your product and fulfilling your product, or what a lot of people today are doing is actually fulfilled by Amazon, to where they're selling to Amazon, and then Amazon is selling on behalf of them with things like your Prime, your 2-day shipping. It's coming out of the Amazon warehouses. But in all of these cases, we really need to keep in mind that it's important to make sure that it's easy for the customer to do business with you. And I can't drive that home enough. So let's talk about the first thing they see when they come to your website, the design, right? And really what goes into your design. So what is the criteria of a good design? Because this is the number one importance. When you think about it, your experience, when you go into a physical store, I open the door, I take a look around, you notice certain traits immediately, right? This is no different from an online store. The customers buy themselves online. The first impressions are very, very critical, and especially so on the web, right? So I guess the question is, how do we convey the desired experience to the customer? And really, what are the criteria of a good design? And I'm sorry, there's typing going on in the background. Can we mute that real quick? Perfect, thank you. So getting back to design here, really, the theming, the overall website theme, and having a solution that provides not only a theme, but a theme builder, as well as the ability to modify the theme going forward. So really, when you're looking at a company, you should select a web company that offers different design packages, right? Offers the ability to be self-sufficient when it comes to design. Oftentimes in the e-commerce industry, you are at you're being kept on a leash, I guess you could say, with a third-party design or marketing firm who is utilizing a platform to then do the design. And that's typically done in a content management system or a CMS. So if you do select a platform, and you do obviously have the ability to modify your design, you select a partner that gives you that ability, because more often than not, when I have a customer call me, this is one of their biggest complaints, is that every time they want to change a picture or a color or some text or create some type of a banner, they have to go out and talk to a third-party marketing team, tell them what they want, but most importantly, pay them for it. And we really need to focus here on brand as well, and brand awareness. So things like logos, brochures, banners, catalogs, it needs to be properly represented on your site. Your overall colors, your graphics, all of that needs to portray very, very well online for your customers to come in and purchase from you and have that brand recognition. So design is very, very important, and really the content of the design is important as well. So it's not just their logo and your pictures, obviously. We need a visibly appealing site. And that site needs to be visibly appealing no matter what device it's on as well. So if I'm going out to your site on a tablet or a cell phone, no matter if it's in portrait or landscape mode, I need to have the ability to view everything. Now, 8 years ago, 10 years ago, we used to have to create a mobile site, or apps were just starting to be a thing back then. As of 2014, really what took over is responsive design. And responsive design allows one website theme and look to portray out to any and all different devices that are out there, no matter the browser and no matter where they're at in the world. So it's no longer a nice to have, it's a must have. And really the best practices around that is having everything automatically rendered to the size of the screen utilizing that responsive design, which helps out with things like your SEO and things like online capture of customers, right? It all goes down into the bottom line. And really a lot of this is driven by Google. They've come out and said that websites not configured for mobile take a negative hit in search rankings, so SEO. We're trying to drive people to your site and you're not utilizing responsive design. This is going to really hinder your growth. I don't know about you guys, but when I go and I Google something, I couldn't tell you the last time that I searched on the second page of Google. So making sure that we do everything that we can to boost your Google search and get you on page one as close to the top as possible is very, very important when customers search you or search your industry. So what do customers want? Really, customers want to find what they want, right? They want to go online, and really what you see here, right? 76% of customers say that the most important factor in a website design is the website makes it easier for them to find what they want. So really, it's all about navigation. And this is according to HubSpot, obviously, as you can see here. But people want to be able to find what they want quickly. If you think about websites 10 years ago, and really e-commerce websites, you would go to a page and be thousands of links all over the page. It was very busy, right? And you would have to search and find what you want and then drill down into that specific item or specific information. Nowadays, if you go and look at websites, they have a very clean look. It's very easy to navigate through the site to find what you want or the information that you need, and then make that decision to purchase or not purchase or download the PDF or whatever it may be. And over the last 5 or 10 years or so, a lot of information, company information, certain things like that have moved down from all of those links that used to be in the middle of the site to the footer, right? Contact us, about us, meet the team, locations, testimonials, FAQs, things like that. They've all been pushed down into the footer, and we focus on what's most important for the customer in the main pages of in the main pane of the website. I know if I'm going out and I'm looking, let's say I'm looking for a phone number or an address, I go to the footer. That's where it is. That's industry best practice. Now, once a customer does find what they're looking for and they get down to a product catalog, right, they are looking for content. And really, that's what's key, right? All the buyers, let it be a B2C buyer or a B2B buyer, they're more educated than ever right now. You know, they can go out and within a few clicks on their phone, they can compare and contrast products or services out on the internet. So having a strong product and the strong product descriptions online, including things like videos or even technical specifications, are very, very important because it's going to differentiate you from your competition, right? And having a well-tailored page will instill confidence in the customer and encourage them not only to order, but continue ordering from you. Now, when it comes to what you sell, different looks and feels can be applied, right? As you can see here, this is a customer that sells grinders, meat grinders, vegetable grinders, things like that, juicers. If I was a customer that sold a service, let's say I am an online school and I sell classes, this look will be quite a bit different, right? I'm going to focus on things like availability, location, upsell, cross-sell. Maybe there's a pamphlet or a downloadable file that they need for said class, right? Which you can see here a little bit up in the right-hand corner. Now, lastly, specifically on the B2C side of things, product reviews are important as well. I don't know about you guys, but when I go on Amazon and I'm looking to purchase something, this is the first place I go is the reviews, and I read through those reviews. So having a solution that can give you those reviews is very, very important as well, because that will help specifically on the B2C side. So really, at the end of the day, what I'm trying to say here is, or get across, is that you need to strive to make it easier to do business with you. Your customers need to come on. They're looking for that information. They want what they want at the tip of their fingers. For the B2B clients, they're looking for quick and efficient ways to order from you, right? They want to be able to order off of a previous order. They want templated orders. They want to be able to see their account history. All the things that people used to call a sales rep for, they want at the tip of their fingers. They want to see your inventory levels. They want to see your inventory levels by warehouse, potentially, depending on your business. All of this can be done with an e-commerce solution nowadays. It's not just retail anymore. So let's talk about a digital commerce platform and really what's considered an omni-channel experience, right? So we have to focus on a lot more things these days. We have to focus on that customer experience, which I've spent a lot of time here on because it's very, very important. We have to focus on not only just e-commerce platforms, but also the content in that e-commerce platform. We have to focus on accepting payments. Let that be a credit card, let that be cash upon pickup, let that be even terms, right? Giving customers the ability to bill on account. We have to focus on where that information is coming from. Where's the product information coming in? Are you integrated to a back office accounting system or an ERP? Can we automate some of the manual work that typically, historically, went with selling online? And then really, what is your infrastructure, right? Is this a cloud-based platform? Is this something that you have to put on a server? Do you need additional SQL licenses? All of these things need to be taken into consideration when looking at an e-commerce solution. Also, a big thing that needs to be taken into consideration is getting you on that first page of Google, and really what goes down into that is having appropriate content on your website and how that relates to your search engine optimization. We need to be able to have appropriate page titles, appropriate page subtitles, appropriate keywords, text, H1, H2, etc. We need to be able to refresh this content if it's not getting you on that first page. And we need to be able to show customers not only your links, but your sublinks, as you see here. And that's really an example of the benefits of having strong, organized content is what you see here. This is a search page on Google for Raw Nutrition, which is a customer of ours. So when I talk about better performance, this is what I'm meaning. We want it to be well represented and allow customers to quickly browse. So let's switch over to really best practices. So, and really this is another key building block to an e-commerce solution. So as I've mentioned numerous times, taking on an e-commerce platform is an ongoing investment, just like bringing on I don't know, a new salesperson, right? Your work is never done, and the best practice in the industry are ever evolving. When you look at e-commerce, what it was 5 years ago compared to what it is today, it's completely different, and it will be 5 years from now. So having an e-commerce solution that can adapt and change is really, really, really important. Now, what's becoming more and more important these days is social media and networking and marketing, right? So things like a blog, things like Facebook and Twitter and Pinterest and LinkedIn, all of those integrations to your e-commerce solution, no matter if it's just static content or even, ordering. When I go and I'm on someone's website and I'm thinking about purchasing something, and then I jump over to, a different web page, there's that upsell cross-sell that you see on those different web pages, right? It's driving you back to purchase that vegetable juicer. So it's all about driving people to your website, generating those clicks, and really, once they get to your website, exciting them with fresh and beautiful content. And then how do you track it all, right? So having a tool that can provide a tracking tool to measure the effectiveness of all these things we've been talking about. Like a tool like Google Analytics, right? How many people are coming to your site? Where are they coming from? How long are they standing on each pages? Which pages are they on the most? What are they purchasing? Where are those purchases coming from? Having a solution that can provide you that information is very, very, very important. Now, if you are going to be selling online, a key consideration is security, because it's paramount. You do not want to be one of those folks that you hear on the TV, like people, we've all heard of them. I'm not going to mention them by name, but you hear about credit card hacks and credit card security issues. If this happens to you and you happen to be a company that's not as big as, let's say, a Fortune 100, Fortune 500 company, this can really, really hurt. For example, if there is a breach and you have to contact Visa, MasterCard, American Express, Discover, and you have to tell them, here's all the credit cards that I have on file, they need to then go ahead and release new credit card information to all those people. And with that comes a fine of approximately $50 per person. So you can do the math, but as a small to medium-sized business, that is a big risk. So, as I said, it is paramount to work with someone that takes PCI compliance very, very seriously. And PCI is payment card industry compliance, and it's the appropriate way to encrypt credit card information. Now, you want to make sure that you look at a solution that is PCI DSS certified. In our case, for example, we own our own hosting facility, and that hosting facility is PCI Level 1 certified, which is the highest certification that you can actually get as someone that encrypts credit card information. So you need to make sure if customers are going to trust you with their information, that you're doing the appropriate thing in encrypting that information appropriately. Now, I've hinted towards this earlier, but what does it mean to have integrated e-commerce? That means that the information that you're managing on a day-to-day basis, back office, let's say in Microsoft GP or NAV or AX, is going to be helping drive your website. So things like customers, contacts, quantities per warehouse, pricing, order and invoice history. And having all of that information automatically updated to the website when you change your back office, and vice versa, right? It's a two-way street. So if a customer comes on and places an order, we want to write that order back to that customer within GP, AX, NAV. And if we're selling on a B2C site, meaning it's a new customer, I want to be able to create that new customer record, or potentially group those customers into more of a guest checkout, right? So we're optimizing your time. We're optimizing the cost of sale. We're decreasing the cost of sale significantly because you're not paying for someone to sit back and update GPE and then go out and update the website. And then when a website takes an order, go out and update the website and then go out and update GP. It's automated. It's streamlining your processes. It's streamlining your inventory. And it's streamlining your orders. So I'd like to switch gear here. I think this is a perfect time to really start talking about really what we do and here at k-eCommerce, and really what's prompted us to be a partner of Velosio is the fact that not only have we been doing this a long time, as you can see, we started with our first GP and AX in 2004 and 2005, but also because we work strategically with them to make sure that we're doing things in the best practice. When we talk to you, it is both on a k-eCommerce side and a Velosio side to make sure that we are doing things correctly. We are taking a look at your business thoroughly, and we're recommending an appropriate approach that is tailored to you, because e-commerce, although some of it can be cookie cutter, the majority of it is going to be tailored to your business, your customers, and your products. And really, why people end up selecting k-eCommerce and what we've become in the industry over the last 15 to 20 years here is we become your online partner rather than just a vendor. In my opinion, this is why people select us, and this is why people stay with us. We are the manufacturer. We are not resellers of our own platform. And what this all boils down to is that we maintain and we support. We have 2 offices. We have one in Michigan and one in Montreal. We have close to, well, we're approaching 90 employees. And each one of those employees are full-time employees within one of our 2 offices. We do not outsource support. We do not outsource any development, which means we can control everything. We can control everything now, but also in the future. If you have a question, you contact k-eCommerce. If you have a bug, you contact k-eCommerce. If you need a throat to choke, there is one phone call, right? You have a true partner and not a vendor. And it's not only just on the e-commerce side. We have our own hosting facility, as I mentioned earlier. We have our own content management system to help build that beautiful design. We have our own project managers to help you not only deploy but maintain the platform, which rolls over into our support and our maintenance as well. Now, when it comes to customer support and really the information that our customers need, we utilize a product called Zendesk to really not only identify and communicate with all of our customers, but also supply them with any and all information they need in regards to a thing like a knowledge base, right? We have a school that we put all of our customers through called K-University. These are live sessions that we do once a week that our clients can go in. They can watch. They're about an hour and a half long, and they can ask questions. And we really grow from our customers, right? We have a feedback collection portal, and that's really along coupled with the industry and the industry best practices is how we build our roadmap when we add features. So we listen to our customers. Now, another thing that we do that's very unique in the industry is we do not limit the functionality of our platform. And what I mean by that is that all of the features that we have, they come out of the box. If we build a new feature, we give it to everybody with our goal of helping you sell more online. So as we move to wrapping this up, a few of the key takeaways that I'd like people to really, think about once we leave here today is consult with an expert. Right? There's people out there to help you, like Velosio, like k-eCommerce. If you have questions, you can get the answers. So, being able to utilize those resources that you have at your fingertips and being able to select the appropriate partner is key. Because that appropriate partner is going to guide you in the right direction and focus on your business rather than your sale. And that's really how I'll end this. And I'd like to open it up for any questions that anyone's typed in the chat, and we'll go ahead and get those answered.
Thanks, Rob. We do have a couple of questions. How long does it take to implement k-eCommerce?
So k-eCommerce, it depends on the project, obviously. But with that said, a normal, let's say a small to medium-sized business that has, 30,000 products and 10,000 customers, you're typically looking at somewhere between a 10 and 14-week deployment timeline. And we recommend that our customers have someone on their side that is responsible for the project. So on the k-eCommerce side, we'll have a project manager, but also the customer should have a project manager to make sure that their team is doing what they should be doing when they should be doing it in order to hit whatever go live that our customers want. But very good question.
As a follow-up to that, how much does it cost?
That's a key question, right? So k-eCommerce is a SaaS solution. So what that means is you're not actually purchasing software. And really what it means is there's an ongoing cost, and our ongoing costs are as low as $3.99 a month. So that will extrapolate out to an annual basis. But with that said, it's pretty cost effective to step into.
I've got a lot of SKUs. Can it handle a high volume of products and sales?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's really one thing that we excel at because we are integrated to an ERP, right? Our largest customer has north of, 4 million SKUs and 4 million products. And it's typical when you step into the world of retail, right? B2C, or distribution, reselling, right? And we are able to then scale appropriately, no matter if they have the 4 million SKUs like I was talking about, or 10 million customers, or 5 customers. It's a very robust platform that can bend and be pliable to whomever our customer is, whichever industry they're in, and whoever their customers are that we need to target.
Do you have tools to help your customers justify the investments?
Yes, definitely. What we do here is take a consultative approach and really try to sit down and, as I mentioned earlier, learn who our customers are, what their business is. And one of the tools that we've created is an ROI calculator that allows us to really take all that information that we receive from our customers and turn that around into an investment and an investment profile over a year, 5-year, 10-year period to really help our clients make an educated decision if this will be a good fit for them.
Perfect. That looks like that's all the questions we have at the moment. But I want to thank you again, Rob, for the great presentation, and thanks to everyone else for joining us. We hope to see you next time.